everybody, Pinstripe here, and welcome to another Hogs of War tutorial video. It is the year 2024, and things have changed in the competitive landscape of online multiplayer for Hogs. Now, I have made previous tutorial videos in the past, but those are now marked as old because the community has moved on in the software that it primarily uses in order to play multiplayer online with your friends. Previously we used Parsec. Those tutorials are still viable, but I would highly recommend switching up to DuckStation netplay, which is what we'll be focusing on today. Now, if you've been living under a rock, DuckStation is a PS1 emulator. In fact, it's probably the best PlayStation 1 emulator out there right now, and netplay is a built-in feature within DuckStation that effectively allows you to connect to your opponent's PC and play Hogs via the multiplayer. I should note that the only slight drawback with netplay is that it only allows up to 2 players. You can have other players spectating, but that might affect desyncs as well. So do keep that in mind if your internet isn't the strongest or if you require a slightly higher input delay setting. Now, for the main chunk of this tutorial, I'm going to hand you over right now to ADB95, who will tell you the details of everything you need to know when it comes to setting up DuckStation netplay.
Hello guys, I'm here to guide you through netplay. Thank you first of all to Fab, who explained this to me so I could explain it to you. I would have never figured it out on my own. So, the DuckStation netplay package that we have prepared for you contains these 2 files, the netplay folder and the autosaver, which I will get into in a minute. So, the netplay folder contains the game files already, and once you load it up, you just need to set your controls. Everything else has already been taken care of, hotkeys, resolution and everything. You just need to set your controls on port 1, this is important. Even if you're player 2 in a Hogs match, you need to be port 1. And then port 2, this is also important, needs to be active. You can leave it empty, but it needs to be active for netplay to work. So once this is all said and done, you can just load the game file, which contains the map you need to play. And unfortunately, we have no fast forward, so we have to wait a little bit. Okay, we are setting up the game as normally we would do. And once you reach the multiplayer menu, you can start your session. So if you're player 1 of the Hogs match, you need to start the session yourself. You need to create the session here up in the upper left. Put your nickname, anything really, doesn't matter. So players 2, input delay needs to stay at 2.
Just to interject there, ADB, the input delay here, we would recommend that you have a higher setting if your internet connection or the person that you are connecting to is kind of far away. So somewhere around 4, 5, or 6. Netplay is pretty stable, but the important part here is that both players put the same number when it comes to input delay. Okay? Okay, carry on.
Enable traversal mode needs to be checked. Then you click on OK. You can see down here on the bottom left that your host code has been created. And not only that, it already has been copied to your clipboard, so you can just message your opponent, your player 2, and paste it for them to have. Now, if you're player 2, you need to join a session. Doing that, you go on the traversal mode tab, and then you just, as you would normally, put your nickname, and then you paste your host code that the player 1 gave to you, and then click on OK to join. And now you can start a game. Now, the save state issue has been solved like this. Fab made us a little auto script right here, an autosaver. If you double click on it, you can see down here that it's active, and if it has DuckStation open, on focus, it'll automatically save the state every 45 seconds. This is very helpful so that neither the players nor the commentators need to remember to save with F2 every single turn. And we made it so, let me show you with F3 here. it switches between two different save states there. So, for example, if someone disconnects and the last save state is on, I don't know, someone in the middle of throwing a shrapnel that can't be loaded, you can load the previous one and start playing from that.
Hey, it's me again, just dropping in to say that the autosaver has been boosted to cover more than 2 slots, so don't worry about that. Also, Player 1 is the only one that needs to have the autosaver on, so the one that is actually creating the session, okay? Alright.
So the only other thing I need to point out is that sometimes, here in the bottom left, you'll see some desynchronization messages.
Hey, so we learned kind of the hard way that the desyncs do actually matter if the game is not particularly stable. So it is possible for 2 players to just completely desync and see 2 different things on screen.
That's something that Expo needs to take notice of and focus as well. So he can't focus on anything else in that turn as well. So no double hits on other pigs, no double poisons or anything.
He seems to be quite confused about what to do now because he also hasn't collected the crates.
I feel like this is a desync. Yep, this is definitely a desync. We will be right back.
Alright.
It doesn't happen that often, but when it does, the best thing to do is to stop the game, load a save state, and make a new session.
The only problem is that these texts are long enough to just jump into the game window right here. So you can actually set, unfortunately there's no way to completely turn them off, but you can set a hotkey to rapidly clear them up. I set mine as M, so whenever these messages pop up here in rapid succession, I can just press M and then they'll go away immediately. And that's it. So, see you in the league.
And just as a quick side note, we have 3 different versions of the game here for the reason that there are just way more maps available within the community for multiplayer than the default can hold. So within each game file, of course, you'll find 25 different multiplayer maps, but we have more than that. So if you go into ISO 2 and 3, you'll be finding the newest maps within the community that you can try out for yourself. The full list of maps should be on screen right now for you to enjoy. So yeah, that is it for this tutorial. Very short, very simple. Hope you guys enjoyed and indeed understood. If you have any questions or queries, let us know in the comments. Alternatively, you can of course come join us in the Hogs of War Discord. Links to everything, as I mentioned, in la description. Whether you're playing this game casually or competitively, we hope that it will bring you a smoother process when it comes to playing online with your friends. Anyhow, that's going to wrap everything up from me and ADB. You can find his channel linked, of course, in the description and at the end of this video. Go ahead and check him out on Twitch as well, and I'll catch you guys later for the next one.
Right, you putrid porker. You should be proud of your hogs. I've given you, 5 additional promotion points to decorate them with. Are you listening to a word I say? Repeat after me. Minefields are very bad things to wander into. Now, press your button and we will be the richest nation in the world. Just imagine, limitless swill supplies until the end of all time. Oh, God, don't mess it up.